June 2022 marked the official collapse of Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan. And listen, if you know anything about Lori Harvey, you already know she was not staying on the sidelines for long. By December 2022, she had already moved on, and the man who caught her attention was none other than British-born actor Damson Idris. And hold up. It got serious fast, because by January 13th, 2023, her 26th birthday of all days, they made it official. But here's where it gets interesting. By November 7th, 2023, it was already over. They dropped a joint statement saying they were parting ways because each of them needed to pour their full focus and dedication into their own individual paths. Now rewind for a second, because I need you to really understand who Lori Harvey is in this dating game. She operates like the Old Testament version of justice. No second chances, no negotiations, no mercy. You mess up with Lori Harvey, and you are simply deleted from the story because she has that much leverage in the dating market. So the moment she and Damson Idris called it quits, the internet didn't even blink. People were already speculating about what was coming next.
Chances that Lori could spin the block and get back with one of her exes. And she's been out here dating some people.
She has some beeps. She has some people on the roster, on the Rolodex.
Yeah, they call her the Thanos of the dating game. She's out here collecting all her infinity stones. You feel me?
You already know, Lori Harvey is out here collecting men like they're infinity stones, and the reason she can do that so effortlessly comes down to one word: leverage. Now let me break that down real quick. Leverage is the strategic use of a tool, resource, or position to multiply the impact of your effort. In Lori Harvey's case, she's stunning, she's famous, and that combination means there is always another option waiting in line. That's exactly why she can swap men out like infinity stones without breaking a sweat. And hold up, because March 2026 just turned this whole narrative into a full testimony. Remember, they split back in 2023, talking about focusing on their careers and individual paths. Cool, respectable, we heard it. But here's the thing that's wild to me. Through all of 2024 and 2025, Lori Harvey never once surfaced with someone who could even match Damson Idris's energy, let alone top him. And then, you won't believe this, we fast forward to Paris Fashion Week in March 2026, and who do we spot together looking unbothered and comfortable? That's right. Lori Harvey and Damson Idris are back in the same orbit like the breakup was just a scheduled intermission.
Harvey's game needs to be studied, because one thing about her exes is that they always coming back for a little more of Big Mama. She got it.
What this guy is essentially pointing out is that Lori Harvey has something undeniably magnetic going on, because men literally cannot seem to walk away from her and stay away. Now here's where it gets interesting to me. Because Lori Harvey has always preached that she doesn't entertain anyone who doesn't fully serve her vision and her standards. But yet, here she is spinning the block with Damson Idris, which is something that, at the peak of her power, the old Lori Harvey would have never done. This is the same woman who swaps men like infinity stones. And now we're watching her passionately making out in Paris with an ex like it's a movie scene. But then, hold up. Just 10 days later, the plot thickens in a way nobody saw coming because Michael B. Jordan, the ex she left before Damson, goes and wins an Oscar on March 15th. I'll let that sink in. Just 9 days after Lori Harvey spun the block on behavior she swore she'd never do, the man she left before that just claimed one of the biggest wins in Hollywood. Damn. 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 But guys, it genuinely gets worse. Because I'm just scrolling online, minding my business, and I stumble across an Instagram post showing Damson Idris out in Los Angeles with model Avery Lay. Now I'm sitting here studying these photos, and that is clearly not Lori Harvey beside him. And she's not hard to look at either, showing up dressed like a woman with a point to prove. All I see is legs, 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 and a man who looks genuinely thrilled to be exactly where he is. The photos don't show them all hugged up, but everything about their body language reads like two people who are very much a couple to me. And the part that's wild? This is happening less than 45 days after he was just in Paris, locking lips with Lori Harvey. But honestly, this brings me to a bigger point I really need to talk about when it comes to women.
Leverage in your relationship or just while dating will get you a lot more than being a nice girl, okay? So your leverage depends on a lot of things. Yes, beauty is a leverage, but so is information. So are secrets. A lot of things become leverage. The most powerful form of leverage is definitely beauty, and the second is definitely what you know about this person.
In case you don't know her, that's Shira 7, and leverage is something everyone uses, especially women. Listen, if you're naturally beautiful, that alone is leverage you didn't have to earn, and it amplifies everything else you want. When you're at Lori Harvey's level, you've already got beauty, class, and connections stacked in your favor. But the second element here is just as powerful. Information, meaning what you know about someone, also gives you serious leverage. Women are incredibly detail-oriented when it comes to reading men and anticipating how they'll react. So when Lori Harvey split from Damson Idris in 2023, she walked away holding two weapons, her beauty and the information she had on him, likely concluding that he'd never find her level again. He'd want to come back, and by then she'd have already upgraded, just like the pattern before with Michael B. Jordan. But did it actually play out that way? Here's exactly why the plan didn't land. Women like Lori Harvey are masterful at knowing what men should do for them, but they rarely stop to calculate the man's own leverage. This isn't just a Lori Harvey problem, it's a pattern across many beautiful, successful women who are winning by every visible measure. They know their worth, they know their power, but they consistently underestimate one thing, that men also carry what's known as optionality, and that one miscalculation changes the entire game.
As a man who has a lot of options, there is no need to settle down, because when you are comfortable in life and you look good and you're doing well for yourself, you're going to keep having an abundance of options no matter where you are in life. No matter what area you're in, what country you're in, they're going to naturally come. Because in this day and age, it's so easy to be at the top of the top, because all you have to do is take care of yourself and get some money in. I know that's easier said than done, but if you do those two things, you are naturally going to be in the top 5% of men.
Here's the cold truth. Even though Lori Harvey is still beautiful and well-connected, her leverage has fundamentally weakened compared to where it once was. And the reason is simple. Michael B. Jordan, a man she already dealt with, has only gotten bigger, better, and more untouchable since she left. Then on top of that, Damson Idris has made it crystal clear through his actions that he doesn't actually need her. He can move how he wants, date who he wants, and live his life completely unbothered. And here's the part that really shifts the power dynamic. She has already proven with her own actions in Paris that she is willing to do what?
If a man spins the block, that's not a flex. He's coming back to see if you're still stupid. Ding, 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 ding.
That's right. Spin the block. And the wild part is, Damson Idris has everything at his disposal, so if Lori Harvey never called again, he'd be just fine. There aren't many men at his level lining up the way they once would have, because high-value men understand their leverage only grows over the next decade, while hers quietly fades. She isn't an actress. She isn't building something people depend on, and beautiful women are entering the market every single day. These men can choose any kind of woman they want, but Lori Harvey can't say the same about the caliber of men she's targeting. Women make this miscalculation constantly, underestimating what a man can become. You ignore him in college, and 5 years later he's tripled his value and moved on completely. I've seen it personally. If I went back to Sacramento right now, those same women from my 20s would have absolutely no leverage today. Lori Harvey isn't in that exact position, but to maintain access to the top-tier men she wants, she's going to have to accept sharing, because she simply isn't compelling enough right now for a man at that level to commit exclusively. A guy like Damson Idris is operating on "I'll see you when I see you" terms, doing whatever he wants whenever he feels like it, and if she doesn't like it, that's just the situation. If she likes him enough, she'll accept those terms, because her leverage shrinks every single year, whether she admits it or not. Women constantly evaluate these situations from their own vantage point, and while that's understandable, wanting something and actually being positioned to get it on your terms are two very different things. So, guys, what do you think?